Most men compliment women the wrong way. They sound needy, predictable, and honestly forgettable. But when you know how to use the right kind of compliments, the forbidden kind, you'll trigger a psychological reaction that pulls her in deeper. Today, I'll show you the top 3 forbidden compliments that ignite female desire, and why most men are too afraid to use them. Most men rush to compliment a woman's looks, her eyes, her smile, her body, and sure, it gets a polite thank you, maybe even a blush, but it rarely leaves an impact. Why? Because it's surface level. It's what she's heard 1,000 times before. You become just another echo in a long line of forgettable voices. But when you shift the compliment from her appearance to something deeper, her aura, her energy, her presence, you create an emotional ripple she doesn't forget. Think about it. Every day, she might get told she's beautiful, hot, sexy. But how often does someone stop, look her in the eyes, and say, "There's something about your presence. It's calm, but it draws me in. Like I want to be around you without knowing why." That's not just flattery, that's intrigue, that gets her attention. You're speaking to the part of her that isn't physical but personal. It makes her feel recognized, not as an object of attraction, but as a person who leaves an impression. This kind of compliment shows her that you're tuned into something most men overlook. You're not reacting to her curves or her face. You're reacting to how she makes you feel, and that matters. It shows that you're present, that you're perceptive, and that you're not impressed by every pretty face that walks by. You're selective. You compliment something abstract, something she doesn't even fully understand about herself. And that makes her curious. It makes her want to know what you see in her. She'll think about it later. She'll replay it. She'll wonder, what exactly did he mean by that? What does he see that no one else does? And that curiosity, that self-reflection you just sparked, that's powerful. That's how attraction deepens. Because while other men are chasing her attention, you're giving her something rare, an inner validation, a mirror to the parts of herself she doesn't always recognize. It becomes intimate without being sexual, and in a world full of shallow compliments, this kind of depth makes you unforgettable. When you learn to speak to her energy, whether it's the calm she brings into a room, the intensity behind her gaze, or the way she holds herself with quiet confidence, you separate yourself from the crowd. You're not just noticing her, you're feeling her. You're showing emotional awareness, and that makes you dangerous in the best way possible. Women are emotional creatures by nature. They remember how you make them feel far more than what you say. So if you want to leave a mark, don't aim for her looks. Aim for her spirit. That's the compliment she'll never forget. Most men default to praising a woman's femininity, her softness, her nurturing nature, her beauty. It's what society has conditioned us to do. And while there's nothing wrong with acknowledging those traits, they're expected, predictable, safe. But the moment you compliment a woman on her masculine traits, her discipline, her intellect, her ambition, her strategic thinking, you disrupt the narrative. You become the rare man who sees the side of her that most overlook. Or worse, feel threatened by, and that changes everything. See, deep down, many women walk a tightrope between wanting to be admired for their femininity and respected for their strength. In the modern world, they are expected to be soft yet strong, nurturing yet driven, beautiful yet assertive. It's a constant balancing act. So when a man notices and appreciates her power, her mental sharpness, her focus, her emotional control, it speaks to a part of her that's often neglected. It tells her, I see the warrior behind the smile. I respect the fire beneath the surface. Imagine saying to a woman, you've got a dangerous kind of intelligence. The way you break things down and see through people. It's sharp. or I don't meet many women who have that kind of self-discipline. It's rare. These kinds of compliments do something profound. They don't just flatter her. They validate her efforts, because those traits, ambition, resilience, control, don't come easily. She earned them, and most men are either too intimidated to acknowledge them or too insecure to appreciate them. When you highlight these qualities, you're sending a clear signal. You're not threatened by her strength. In fact, you're drawn to it. That sets you apart. You're showing her that you're a man who operates from a position of inner strength and confidence. You're not looking for a woman to be small so you can feel big. You can handle her complexity, her duality, her edge. That's incredibly attractive. It makes her drop her guard, because now she feels like she doesn't have to hide the parts of herself that are intense, driven, or even a little ruthless. And let's be honest, every woman has a shadow side, a part of her that's calculated, that knows how to maneuver through social dynamics, that can be assertive and unapologetic when needed. Society often tells her to suppress that, to stay soft, stay sweet. But when a man notices it and says, "I see that killer instinct in you, that part of you that doesn't settle, I like it," you're not just giving her a compliment. You're giving her permission to be her full self. That's intoxicating, because now she's not just being admired. She's being understood. And women crave that more than they'll ever admit. They want to be seen fully, not just as delicate, not just as beautiful, but as powerful, as multi-dimensional, as women who can hold their own and still be desired for it. And when you're the man who brings that out of her, who makes her feel both feminine and formidable, you become someone she doesn't want to lose. Most men are too afraid to compliment a woman's masculine edge because they think it'll make them look weak or submissive. But the truth is, it does the opposite. It makes you look strong. It shows you're secure in who you are, that you don't need to dominate her to feel worthy. You can admire her strength while still leading with your own. That dynamic creates electric chemistry. It's respect mixed with desire. And when you speak to a woman like that, when you compliment the traits she's had to fight for, the parts of her she's rarely praised for, you leave an imprint. You make her feel like she can finally let that part of herself shine without shame, and she'll remember you as the man who gave her that freedom. There's something incredibly seductive about flipping the script, about making a compliment less about her and more about the way she affects you. Most men hand out compliments like tokens. "You're beautiful," "You have a nice smile," "You're so hot." They're generic, they're external, and they put the woman on a pedestal in a way that screams, "Please like me." But when you compliment a woman not on what she is, but on how she makes you feel everything changes. You shift the dynamic. You create emotional tension. You bring her into your internal world, and that's where the magic happens. Let's say you're talking to a woman, and instead of saying something predictable like, "You look amazing," you say, "You're kind of dangerous. I catch myself thinking about you when I shouldn't." That hits completely differently. Now, you're not just complimenting her. You're confessing something. You're revealing that she has power over you, even if it's subtle, that you're affected. And here's the twist. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. It makes you human in a way that's intriguing, because you're not just noticing her. You're responding to her. And that's the compliment women crave but rarely hear. When you speak this way, you're showing emotional awareness. You're tuned into your own state. You're reflecting it back to her in a way that's honest but controlled. You're not saying, "I can't stop thinking about you," like some lovesick puppy. You're saying, "You've got this effect on me, and I'm not sure if I like it or if I want more of it." That subtle line between vulnerability and composure is what makes the compliment powerful. It implies desire, but it also suggests restraint. You want her, but you're not begging for her. You're letting her know she's impactful, not that she owns you. And that sense of control, of emotional composure, is crucial. If you overdo this kind of compliment, it slips into neediness, but when you drop it like a quiet, offhand remark, it lands with weight. It makes her pause, it makes her wonder, because now she's not just being admired, she's being told she has leverage, emotional influence. That's incredibly attractive to women. They love to feel like they're getting under a man's skin, but only if that man seems like he's usually unshakable. That contrast is what makes it stick. Most guys try to keep everything on the surface. They don't want to show too much emotion. But real masculine energy isn't about emotional suppression. It's about emotional mastery. You can show that a woman affects you without losing your frame. You can express desire without losing your power. And that's exactly what you do when you say something like, "You're trouble, and I'm trying to stay focused, but you're making it hard." That line, it's raw, it's real, and it sparks something deep in her. She hears it and knows you're not playing games, but you're also not giving everything away. That balance pulls her in. The beauty of this kind of compliment is that it puts you at the center of the interaction. Not her looks, not her status, you. Your feelings, your standards, your reaction, and that's attractive because it's rare. Most men orbit around a woman, trying to win her over with shallow praise, but when you speak from your own experience, when you tell her how she makes you feel, you become the prize. You're showing that you're not just watching her, you're experiencing her, and that experience is affecting your state, your focus, your thoughts. That's intimate, that's rare, that's unforgettable. It's also worth noting that women are naturally more emotionally attuned than men. They pick up on subtle cues, on unspoken tension, on shifts in tone and expression. So when you drop a line that suggests she's gotten under your skin, but you don't follow it up with a chase or a plea for attention, it creates a psychological hook. She wants to know more. She wants to understand what's going on inside you. She wants to earn more of that reaction. It becomes a challenge, and women love emotional challenges. They want to feel like they're earning your attention, not just receiving it passively. So the next time you feel drawn to a woman, resist the urge to compliment her looks like every other guy. Instead, tune into your own emotional response. Notice how her voice calms you, or how her presence distracts you, or how her laugh lingers in your head. Then say it, not in a needy way, but in a grounded, matter-of-fact tone. "You're dangerous. I wasn't planning to stay this long, but here I am." That kind of compliment turns you into a man who feels deeply but stays grounded. A man who's aware of the game but still in control of it. And that, more than anything, is what makes you unforgettable in her mind. When it comes to attraction, one of the most overlooked yet powerful elements is surprise. The unexpected, the unpredictable. That's what creates emotional spikes. The moments people remember, replay, and obsess over. And when it comes to giving compliments, most men fall into the trap of being obvious, predictable. They compliment what's already out in the open. Her looks, her style, her figure. And while it may feel like a nice gesture, it barely leaves a mark. Why? Because she's heard it all before, dozens of times, sometimes even multiple times a day. It becomes background noise. But when you avoid the obvious, when you resist the urge to comment on what every other man is noticing, you immediately stand out. You're not feeding her ego the same junk food everyone else is offering. Instead, you're offering something rare, and rare things are always more valuable. Let's say she walks into a room, dressed to impress, and it's clear that she's expecting attention. Most guys will immediately blurt out, "You look amazing," or "Wow, that dress is incredible." They think they're being charming, but what they're really doing is falling into the role of the admirer, the man who notices her from outside looking in. Now imagine you take a different route. You say nothing about the dress, nothing about her makeup or her body. Instead, after a moment of silence and eye contact, you say something like, "You walk like someone who knows exactly what she wants." You've just bypassed the surface and gone straight to her subconscious. That compliment doesn't just flatter her. It makes her asterisk feel asterisk something. It tells her you're paying attention to the asterisk details asterisk, the nuance, the energy she's putting out, not just the packaging, and that's when she starts to view you differently, because here's the secret: when a woman puts effort into how she looks, she expects praise. But when you notice the elements that are hidden beneath the surface, her timing, her tone, her mood, the rhythm in how she speaks, she feels asterisk seen asterisk, not just looked at. It creates intimacy, not the sexual kind, but the kind that makes her curious, curious about how you see her, curious about what else you might notice that others miss. It builds intrigue, and intrigue is one of the core drivers of deep attraction. Another powerful move is to say nothing at all when most men would. The silence in those moments is a statement in itself. When she's clearly fishing for validation and you give her nothing but calm, steady presence, you send a powerful message. You're not so easily moved. You're not here to validate her surface. You're here to experience her fully, and that takes time. It builds tension. She starts to wonder why you haven't said anything. She becomes a little self-conscious in a good way. She leans in, tries a little harder, seeks that moment where you might finally reveal what's on your mind. And when you do, it hits 10 times harder. That's the art of withholding the obvious. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about being intentional, strategic. It's about creating contrast. Because if everyone else is flooding her with predictable attention and you're the one who holds back, your attention becomes valuable asterisk. She'll associate your words with meaning, not just noise. You're not just another guy trying to win her favor. You're the man who's willing to take his time, who doesn't need to speak to impress, who waits for the right moment and then says something unforgettable. This dynamic also taps into the principle of scarcity. In psychology, we know that the less available something is, the more desirable it becomes. When your compliments are rare, they feel earned asterisk. They mean something, and more importantly, she won't know when to expect them. That unpredictability is what hooks her emotionally. One well-placed compliment, delivered with confidence and restraint, can linger in her mind for days, far more than 10 basic ones thrown at her just to get a reaction. It's important to understand that what a woman wants and what a woman responds to are not always the same. She may say she loves compliments, but what actually stirs her emotions is the one compliment that makes her stop and think, the one that catches her off guard, the one that feels like you saw something no one else did. When you give her that kind of experience, she starts to view you not as a man who's trying to win her, but as a man who sees through her. That's the compliment she doesn't forget, the one that isn't about what she wore, but about how she carried herself, the one that wasn't about her body, but about her energy the one that came out of nowhere and said, "I see you." Not just the you show to the world, but the one underneath all of that. Avoiding the obvious creates room for depth. It makes her feel something instead of just hearing something. And in the end, that's what draws her in. Not your words, but how those words make her feel In a world where everyone is obsessed with results, outcomes, and external validation, complimenting a woman on her effort The unseen energy she invests in herself and her life is both rare and disarming. Most people only notice the finished product. They see the polished appearance, the confident demeanor, professional success, and they applaud that. But almost no one takes the time to recognize the invisible grind behind it all, the long nights, the internal battles, the moments of doubt she had to overcome just to show up the way she does. When you're the man who acknowledges that, you separate yourself from 99% of people she's ever interacted with. There's a powerful truth here. What we feel most proud of is not always what others praise us for. A woman might get constant compliments on her looks, but the thing she secretly values most about herself might be her discipline, or the courage it took to pursue a dream, or the quiet strength it took to heal from past wounds. When you tap into those spaces and give them your attention, your compliment cuts through the noise. It reaches her core. It tells her you're not just seeing her surface. You're tuned into her journey, and that hits different. Imagine you're talking to a woman who clearly takes care of herself, emotionally, physically, mentally. Most men would stop at, "You look incredible." But instead, you lean in slightly and say, "I respect how intentional you are." It's obvious you don't do anything halfway. That statement flips the entire dynamic. Now, you're not objectifying her beauty. You're respecting the effort that creates it. And the moment you say it, she feels both recognized and relieved. Because finally, someone sees what she values about herself. She doesn't have to explain it. You already noticed. Complimenting effort is not just about words. It's about awareness. It's about paying attention to the little things, the way she chooses her words carefully, the way she listens more than she speaks, the consistency in how she shows up, even when she's tired or busy. Maybe she's building a career or studying something relentlessly or managing a chaotic life without ever losing her composure. You say, "I can tell you've had to be strong for a long time." That kind of strength doesn't happen by accident. That doesn't just flatter her. It validates her. It tells her that her quiet battles weren't for nothing. Someone noticed. You can even go deeper. Most people just admire the results, but I see how much effort it must take for you to maintain that calm energy. It's not natural, it's earned. And that says a lot about you. That kind of compliment leaves an impact. Why? Because effort is tied to identity. When you acknowledge effort, you're acknowledging who she chose to become, not what she was born with. She didn't choose her genetics, but she did choose her mindset, her resilience, her consistency. When you highlight those things, it feels like love at a level most people never experience. It feels like being truly seen. And this is where deeper emotional attraction is born. Most relationships burn out because they're built on surface admiration. Compliments get stale, sex appeal fades. But when your admiration is rooted in respect for her choices and character, it creates a lasting bond. She starts to associate you with her own sense of worth. She feels safe with you, not because you flatter her, but because you understand her. You get the part of her that even her closest friends might miss. There's also a psychological element at play. Complimenting effort appeals to the part of the brain tied to reward and recognition. People crave acknowledgement for their labor, especially the labor that isn't publicly celebrated. When you're the one who gives it to her, you create a positive emotional imprint. She remembers you not just as someone who made her feel attractive, but someone who made her feel worthy, not for what she had, but for what she did. That's a whole different level of appreciation. And here's what's really interesting. Women who work hard on themselves, their careers, their healing, their growth, often do it in silence. They've conditioned themselves to not expect praise because praise often comes with conditions. So when you step in and recognize that inner work without expecting anything in return, it feels like a gift, not a transaction. You become a source of peace rather than pressure, a mirror that reflects not just her beauty, but her effort, her integrity, her fire. It makes her lean in emotionally. It makes her open up, because now the conversation isn't about superficial attraction. It's about mutual respect. She sees you as a man with depth, a man who knows how to look past the surface, a man who values substance, and that, in today's world, is damn near irresistible. One of the most forbidden yet powerfully magnetic compliments you can give a woman is the kind that reflects a sense of danger, specifically the danger she poses to your emotional control, your focus, or your usually unshakable presence. This kind of compliment doesn't just tell her she's attractive. It tells her that she has the ability to disrupt your equilibrium, to invade your inner world in a way that no one else does, and that's not something women hear every day. In fact, most men avoid saying it. Why? Because it exposes a form of emotional vulnerability that men are often taught to suppress. But when wielded with confidence and balance, this kind of compliment doesn't weaken you. It electrifies the space between you and her. It creates tension. It builds anticipation. It draws her in like gravity. When you tell a woman, "You're the kind of distraction I didn't see coming," or "You've got a way of making me forget what I was about to say," you're doing something far more seductive than praising her looks. You're inviting her into your internal landscape. You're showing her that beneath the stoic exterior, there's a current of emotion and tension that she has triggered, and yet you're still composed. That juxtaposition is intoxicating. You're saying, "You've shaken something in me, and I'm letting you know, but I'm still holding the line." That balance of desire and restraint is rare, and women are magnetically drawn to it. What makes this even more effective is that you're not giving her power. You're acknowledging the power she already has, but in a way that reframes the dynamic. You're not saying, "I'm lost because of you," which sounds needy and out of control. You're saying, "You've sparked something in me, and I'm choosing to share that awareness." That slight edge of danger, that you're tempted, that she has disrupted your normal state, that your emotions have been stirred, makes her feel alive. It makes her feel significant, not just physically, but emotionally. She's not just turning heads. She's turning your focus inward. She's occupying space in your mental and emotional landscape, and that's the kind of attention that makes her crave more. This approach also engages a deep part of the female psyche, the need to feel impactful. Women don't just want to be admired, they want to feel that they've left a mark, that they've penetrated the layers of your composure, that they matter in a way that transcends compliments about their appearance. When you express, even subtly, that she's disrupting your usual sense of order or calm, it sends a signal that she's not just another woman in your orbit. She's different, she's potent, she's someone who forces you to pay attention, not because you want to, but because you have too. And that kind of acknowledgement plants seeds of obsession in her mind. What elevates this compliment even more is your ability to stay grounded as you deliver it. If you seem rattled or overly emotional, the power is lost. But if you deliver it with a calm, almost amused tone, like you're acknowledging the fire without being consumed by it, it becomes a bold, masculine confession. You're not unraveling. You're simply making her aware that something's stirring beneath the surface, and that mystery, that unspoken depth, makes her curious. She starts wondering what else lies beneath your calm exterior. She starts wanting to be the one who unlocks more of it. These types of dangerous compliments also serve another purpose. They create a story, a moment, a memory that lingers. When you tell her, "There's something about you that throws me off just enough to be dangerous," she doesn't forget that. It replays in her mind later, when she's alone, when she's scrolling through her day, when she's lying in bed wondering what you meant by that. That sense of mystery is addictive. It pulls her into a mental loop, seeking clarity, wanting to dig deeper. That's how psychological attraction begins, through the unsolved tension of emotional impact. There's also a tactical benefit to this kind of compliment. It shifts the power dynamics without making you submissive. Most men either try to dominate a woman with bravado or submit with approval, seeking behavior. But this is something entirely different. It's the elegant dance of emotional exposure wrapped in masculine control. You're letting her know she matters, but you're not chasing. You're showing emotional response, but not emotional dependency. You're owning the effect she has on you while still commanding your presence. That tension is what keeps her guessing, and what keeps her interested. Even more fascinating is how this kind of compliment indirectly challenges her. You're not saying she's nice, or sweet, or pretty. You're saying she's disruptive, that she has power, that she's not safe, at least not in the traditional sense, and women love to be seen as something more than just pleasant or likable. They want to feel like a force, like they can stir something primal, something real in a man. When you give her that experience, you tap into a part of her that very few men ever reach. And the beauty of it all is that you don't need to be poetic or overly romantic to pull this off. You just need to be aware of how she affects you, aware of the shifts in your own mood, your own thoughts, your own sense of time and presence when she's around. You take that awareness and translate it into language, simple, grounded, masculine language. You're making it hard to think straight. I wasn't planning to stay this long, but here I am. You've got a dangerous energy, like I should know better, but I don't want to. These aren't lines, they're observations, and when spoken from a place of calm presence, they land like thunder. And that's the real secret. When you master the art of these forbidden compliments, you're not just saying words. You're creating an experience, one that lingers in her mind long after the conversation ends. You're not chasing her approval or trying to impress her like every other guy. You're standing in your masculine truth, acknowledging her in ways she's never been seen, and letting her feel the impact she has without losing your center. That rare combination of presence, restraint, and emotional precision is what makes you unforgettable. It's what draws her in, keeps her curious, and makes her crave more of you.